Can you please, can
Okay,
you,
got it.
yeah.
Okay, now I want y'all to look in the chat. Somebody read that for me.
I don't see it on the Telegram chat. You put it on the Telegram chat?
Or you put it in the Zoom chat, because I'm in the Zoom chat.
No, I put it in a Telegram chat.
Telegram chat. All right. So we have here, what do we have here? New Earth Living Community Land Trust.
Huh?
Is that what you put here?
No.
Copy of Jillian Dawn Thomas revocable. All right, hold on.
Okay,
The last
okay, that's
document is the master beneficiary record,
there you go.
MBR
Okay.
file.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes, guardian status, description and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
This data element describes whether this beneficiary has a court-appointed guardian or not. If there is a guardian, it further distinguishes the relationship between the guardian and the beneficiary. If you have a guardian, the beneficiary must be a minor or legally declared incompetent. Possible values. What is that? That E.
Okay, so let's
beneficiary?
possible values. E. Beneficiary has entered a state in excess of 100,000. L. Beneficiaries entered in a living trust agreement with a bank or financial institution. So basically, once you are in a living trust and you are the payee, which means a trust account at the bank, you take away the guardianship and custodianship away from the corporation. They cannot deal with you no more. Now, for example, look at copy of Julian Dunn's revocable living trust. She had a felony case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She got her certified copy, got it recorded at the county, and she e-filed it onto her case.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
Now let's go down to the bottom circle. What does it say?
Usage notes?
Notice of voluntary dismissal.
So if you got a gun charge, how does it get voluntary dismissal? Make it make sense.
Oh, damn, that was a gun charge?
Yeah. Make it make sense. So basically, once you are in a revocable living trust, you are out of their jurisdiction.
So
They cannot administrate you. You are alive. Does that make sense, y'all? Is it sinking in?
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. So you got a notice of voluntary dismissal based upon the having a living trust?
Yep.
We playing the game.
Keyword
Is it a-
living.
Mhm.
Because they only
Exactly.
have jurisdiction over dead things.
They only have jurisdiction over dead. You are now alive.
Yeah.
So
That whole juridical person is who they have jurisdiction over. And then when you become
Right.
a living person, you're no longer a juridical person.
Right. You're no longer,
They
they
have
can no
no
longer do business with you.
They really
Right.
have no
we
jurisdiction.
become judicial. My question is, you had a value on this?
No, we're not doing no value. We're not doing none of that other bull crap. Nope, we sticking straight to the game. Straight to the game.
Well,
We're
no,
not
you
doing
have
none of-
here beneficiary has an estate in excess of, so this is just somebody else's guidelines.
That's the master beneficiary record guidelines.
Okay.
So basically, in order for them to say, you ever notice how when people put the paperwork in the court and the judge say, oh, this is crazy. Oh, you're incompetent. Go get a medical evaluation. You ever see them do that?
Oh
Yeah.
Why do
Yeah.
you think they do that?
Because they don't want other people to know what you're doing.
No, because they have jurisdiction over you. Once you put that recorded certified copy of that revocable living trust, the trust has all the authority in the world. You now work for the trust.
Mhm.
They cannot do business with you. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So can you go back on the court case with this?
So Vince, forgive me, but can you go back to the source at the, of this particular document that says master beneficiary record file? Where is this document specifically from?
The master beneficiary record, SSA.
Social Security Administration?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. So now y'all see the power of a revocable living trust. For all my queens out here, you see what I'm saying? Who has kids, it will behoove you to put your children as beneficiaries in this trust. You want to know why? Or can
Right.
you answer the question for me?
Right. So you claim, so you have proof that you own them and not the state.
That's right, they're trust property. So whenever they come after you, somebody calls CYS or CPS or whatever it's called, and they try to take your kids, it is now a trust issue.
Mhm.
And no judge is going to violate trespass on that trust.
Right. Right. Now, because you want us to give in all the papers, you were mindful as to how many names you put in. You didn't really put many names in. You just kind of put the trustees' names in. So it as putting in it's just the offsprings and the offsprings kind of deal. We have to be kind of general, right? Not put specific names.
No, you want to put specific names because if the state was coming after that specific name needs to be in trust, doesn't it?
Okay, so then we do itemize, then we do write down who they are. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
if you're
yes, indeed.
referring back to your trust, you just put all the heirs of yourself. That's how you had your trust document. So that's what she was asking that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to leave the general in there as well, because you might have other heirs that prop up after your filing, that will automatically kind of be covered as well, that you don't know about yet.
Because you're
So
doing
my
the first one is general, and then the amended one that is private, you're putting the other players in there, right?
Mm-hmm. It's all up to you on how you want to do it. Like for instance, if my kids or my successor trustees or my beneficiaries of my trust, I'm going to let them know who they are. So they know when I state that they in trust, they can look it up and see it. See, that's why I never understood the public and private thing, because the stuff that I'm doing, I want you to know who I am and who my beneficiaries are. That way, when you go to mess with them, you can see where they're located at. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going around where you got to do all this other stuff, and you really don't have to do it. So now let's break this down. Now that you're in that revocable living trust and you're the creditor, now everybody that straw man has done business with, or that straw man has signed a contract with, you can now recoup those credits back through your trust. And I know everybody's saying, well, how we do that? Because you're the creditor, you're going to let the IRS know that there was an exchange. So, for example, if you go out there and buy a $35,000 car, you signed their contract. Once you signed that contract, you gave that bank authorization to get paid through your estate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we know that these banks securitize, hypothecate, and trade your stuff on the stock market, right?
Mm-hmm.
They make all these gains, but who aren't they reporting that to?
IRS.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So once you sign their contract,
Mm-hmm.
you then do a 1099-B on the bank because you're always the payer and they're always the recipient.
Mm.
Description of property, signature exchange for funds access. Because that's what y'all just did, right? You signed their contract, they got access to your estate and they got paid. But since they're trading it on the stock market and they're not reporting the gains, you now invoke the investigation by reporting the exchange.
So in reporting the investigation with a 1099-B, we're reporting it to the IRS.
Right. Short-term gains not reported to the IRS.
So does this work for past accounts, like closed accounts? Like say if you have a car already or you paid it off and everything?
Okay, now here's the thing. Once that happens, if you don't have proof and you still have that account number, you don't know if they're still trading on it in that. That's why you have to order a QSIP number for that loan, because if they're still trading on it, you're going to expose the fraud and you're going to have to make them zero out that account through that D.
Gotcha.
Is it starting to sink in a little bit?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Could you repeat what you said about signature exchange for what? What was that?
Funds access, that's description of property.
Okay. Thank you.
Signature exchange for funds access. Now, once you do your B's, you can do your B's on secure cash for rent. If you pay rent, secure cash for utilities. You pay utilities because that trust is located where you reside and it holds all the liabilities.
So would you recommend transferring all the bills into the name of the trust?
You can, but the straw man is already in trust now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, he's the trustee as well. So
Say it again. And that trustee of that trust resides where you live at, right?
okay.
So it holds all the liabilities. If y'all have the same address, it holds all the liabilities.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
You know, you have people out here, well, I'm going to you have to use a P.O. box and you have to get outside and da-da-da-da. For what? As long as those bills come to where you reside at, those bills is now a liability of the trust. And we gonna claim it.
And I
Make
think
sense?
the point is, Vince, that all of that then becomes trust res. Any bill, any coupon or statement that comes in the mail becomes trust res.
No doubt. But
So
for
then-
now, like,
Go ahead, Ben.
so since we're just starting, like I said, like I tell people, you need to start off small. You know, your bank deposits at the bank. What does the bank do with your bank deposits?
And then monetize it.
Okay, and who aren't they reporting those gains to?
IRS.
IRS.
See, let it sink in. Let it sink in.
But
So
School loans.
So Vince,
Mhm.
when you say deposits and you say they're not reporting it, are you also including that initial exchange, the signature for funds, which what?
Yep.
Okay, and so would that be the value of the FDIC insurance or something else they're trading?
No, we're not even. I didn't seen so many. I've been down this rabbit hole with this FDIC, and I kept going in. This is like a year and a half ago, and I kept running into goddamn brick walls. So I left it alone. I just claimed all my deposits for the year. Every deposit I made in that bank got claimed back. So you got your Cash Apps, your PayPals. You can claim all that stuff back.
So you don't do withdrawals too, do you?
No, I just do deposits.
Okay. And you
How
put it
is-
all.
Yes, I do.
how is that done? Do you do that every December? How is that done? And what paperwork do you do? Or
Okay, so you would do a 1099-B on tax1099.com. So basically, like right now, this is 2022. So I would basically be doing my B's for this year, okay? For 2022. So when 2023 comes around, you can just actually e-file them on your 1041 to get those back. Get those credits back. Is that making sense?
Do you
Yeah.
do a class on that?
Yeah,
Or-
and I think that's one of the things I'd love to just pause for a second, because I think we're kind of jumping ahead of ourselves here. We're talking about the initial setup of the trust, and now we're already getting into processes for 1099-Bs and recouping. And if there's a step by step, maybe we need to just stay focused tonight on the first steps of trust creation. And you tell us, Vince, but I want to be mindful about not getting too diluted with tonight.
Well, everything, okay, so everything that we're talking about, all this can be done within a week's time.
Beautiful.
So,
Yeah.
so basically, it might seem like it's complicated. Just like I put my trust in there, all you have to do is edit it out to be your own. Create your EIN number through the IRS. Once you get it notarized, take it down to the county and get it recorded. Once it's recorded, take your IRS letter and your declaration of trust to the bank and open up a trust account. That process right there is how you create your trust. Now it's on the record.
Where do we get a declaration?
It's in the trust.
Oh, it's in, but they don't see the whole trust, right?
No, just the declaration page, Millie.
Okay, thank you.
No, it's not just the declaration page. I do the whole 8 pages.
You
And
show,
it's in the chat.
Ah,
Is it in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. So all you do is make it out to be your own. Edit it out to
So-
be your own. Go ahead.
So Vince, once you go to IRS to get the EIN,
Mhm.
are we backdating that EIN from the date of creation, or we're just doing a current date?
I would just make it the beginning of the year. Beginning of this calendar year.
Okay.
We have to remember that the social, remember the social is a trust too, but it is now in trust. You see what I'm saying? That's why you can go back 3 years, because that social has been doing business, but it's just now recognized that it just became alive. So you can recoup all those credits back. You're basically you're making yourself out of that minor status. You see what I'm saying? Is it
So does
taking in
this
for you?
mean, sorry,
Go ahead.
does this mean you can go back 3 years to set
Yeah.
up your EIN? The start date,
Well,
EIN?
I mean, I didn't do it. I mean, I just put mine as the same year when I created my trust, and I still went back 3.
You still went back to 3 years and there was no
Yeah.
problem. Okay,
Right.
Thank
Because a lot of times, I think the 3-year rule is basically because after 3 years, it's abandoned property, and whoever has it, they're just going to claim it. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
just going to claim it. But if you ordered a QSIP number for an old account and they're still trading on it, then you can do a B on that to get those back, get those credits back.
and in that case, would you use your social or EIN on the B?
Well, it's always going to be the social.
The social, always.
Right.
Okay.
that's what engaged in the business.
That social is the only thing doing the bartering. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the social works for the trust now.
Got it.
Yes, indeed. So we're not really moving too fast, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the other videos in here. That way you can actually look at the video, because it's very detail orientated. I mean, step by step, everybody's asking all the questions that y'all gonna ask. You know what I'm saying? And once we get through that, then we'll have another session to where we can pretty much go over the video. Or if you want, if you have time, once I post the videos in here, y'all can set up a time where y'all can listen to the videos, and then, maybe, what's today's day? I don't even know what the day is. What's the day, Monday?
Monday, the 10th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll post them in here, and then Wednesday, you look at the videos and stuff like that, and then we can go over some questions. Because all your questions will be answered, guaranteed. Am I right, Joanna?
Yes, absolutely.
All your
Right,
questions
right.
will be answered. So I'll post the one we did with the 1099B, and then I'll do the one with the 1041. I think we did another video, didn't we, Joanna?
It was the Treasury.
Treasury Direct.
And then you have one that you were doing with the W-4 process.
W-4. So basically, we're gonna go over both of these processes, but I'm gonna put all the videos in here so y'all can actually, you can set up a time where y'all can just listen to the videos together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then once y'all go through all the videos, let me know, and then we'll just pop up on here again, and we'll start answering questions and get this thing on the move. Because I figure once you see everything in visual, it will fall into shape.
I looked,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
looked
it's
at
very
your,
simple.
I looked at your, the one you created. And is it significant for us to have the all cap name? I noticed sometimes you use the all cap name. Is that significant?
As far as what?
In the document, in the trust document. Sometimes you have, in the beginning, you have the all cap name, and then later on in there you don't. So I duplicated mine exactly as you did yours.
And I've been rolling with that ever since. So whatever I got, you got. And I had no problems with it.
And
The
for
all
the
caps
successor, can you name more than one successor trustee in the trust?
Right, now let's break this down. Your successor trustees, in mine, it's my son.
Right.
And my daughter is my co-trustee. Now, if you don't want nobody to sign or have to be around when it's time to open up your bank account, you don't make nobody a co-trustee. Just put them all as successor trustees.
Okay. Well,
Make
some
sense?
banks require that all trustees be there.
No, that they are successor trustees. They are only responsible if something happens to you. If you make a person a co-trustee, that person is the same as you.
So they have to be there. Okay.
They have to be there.
Right.
So what happened with me and my daughter? What happened with me and my daughter? She's in Fort Meade, Maryland, right? I'm in Pittsburgh. So what happened is we both had to go to PNC Bank at the same time and sign a document. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We both signed it at the same time, and that was it. But if I didn't have her as a co-trustee, it just would have been me. But I'm teaching my daughter how to do this. You see what I'm saying? I want her to know when I'm long gone, you can still ride on me. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. I have 5 children. That's why I was asking to get them all there. But I got you.
So if you don't want to have to coordinate and all that, just make them all successor trustees.
Right.
That's it.
And just have one co. Thank you.
Right.
So, Vince, once the trust is set up and in place, you have the bank account. And then at the end of the year, you're saying go ahead and compile the evidence of all of your bills and things of that nature and submit them to the IRS. But what do you do throughout the year? So, as you sign for something, or you engage with a new company, or go apply for anything like a Costco card, for example, what do you do differently now that a trust is in place as it relates to when you're out in your day-to-day activities doing business or conduct in commerce?
I let my straw man do all the commerce he needs to do. I take the path of least resistance. That's why I don't try to change the name of the light bills and all that to the trust name, because I feel like this. The trust the social's in trust. He works for the trust. They don't need to know that. They'll find out when they get to B. You know
So
what I'm
you
saying?
don't give anybody notice of that. So you, and I understand because we talked briefly a week ago Saturday, because in my past, we were told, no, you have to give notice of trust. So you've not done any of that. So it's just business as usual with your straw person. And then at the end of the year, each of these businesses or utility companies or credit cards or banks are all of a sudden hit with the 1099-B
Yep.
without any notice.
Did they give you any notice of what they was doing to you?
No. I just want to make sure that again, whenever you're operating in trust and in equity, the rule of thumb is notice, notice, notice. That's equity, giving notice.
They did get a notice when the IRS sent them a B.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Now you got notice. Now you know the train is coming. See, I don't, like I said, there's so many people out there adding this and adding that. I'm straight to the point. Let's get it.
Okay. And it could be all that. That's all the IRS ever needed us to do when we talk about reporting at the end of the year. Who did your straw man do business with? Well, we're going to let you know on these on a 1099-B and a 1041.
There you go. There you go. Who is this talking?
Fran.
What's going on, Fran? I like you. I like you, Fran.
Just trying to
Go
find
ahead with you.
somebody else.
Uh-huh. Your wheels be spinning. I love it though. Definitely.
I
So-
have a question. I have a question regarding foreclosure. Yeah,
Mhm.
Now, for some states they have to go to court before foreclosure. Another state has to do administrative process. So in essence, cannot get the QSIP for the court case, but can only get the QSIP for the account that was created, and that is the account that they are foreclosing. So in this case, for the 1099-B, are we to get the account, the QSIP for that account, for those administrative or non-judicial states to stop foreclosure using this process?
Right. Hold on. This sound familiar. That's you, citizen?
Yeah, that's me.
Ah, what's up, man? Look, I know the voice. So didn't you order your QSIPs for the court case?
Yeah, well, it was bankruptcy that I went and it was dismissed, but that is the only court case regarding the foreclosure is bankruptcy, which stops it, and I'm out. So and then the servicer will restart their process to foreclose. So in Virginia, there is no judicial foreclosure. They have to do
Okay.
administrative process, and then they will set a date for foreclosure.
Okay, so what you have to do is when they try to go in your pockets, we're going to go into theirs. You ordered the QSIP for the foreclosure, right?
Yeah, I ordered the question for the account already.
Okay, did you e-file the 1099-B yet?
Not yet. I'm doing the
Okay.
other process. I was ahead getting the QSIP, but I need to do the other process, the filing of the trust and then the EIN.
You haven't
and then
filed
the
your trust
account.
yet?
No, I have not filed it yet.
Hold up, man. This was back in July. I'm coming to
Yeah.
DC. Me and you about to fight. Hold up. We talked in July, right?
Yeah.
And you still haven't filed your trust yet?
No,
Where
I
my
have
belt
not.
at? Where my belt? Somebody got a belt in here?
I'm running to the courthouse. You can't catch me.
Oh, man, get that trust on the record and e-file that 1099-B. Okay, maybe you need to see the video again. Because
Yeah.
we get very extensive on this beat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We get very extensive. Matter of fact, let's do it this way.
I have a question on when you go to the bank that you open up the account, do you open up any specific type of account?
You just tell them you want to open up a trust account
Non-interest bearing.
and open up a sole proprietor account too.
So I'm opening
me-
up 2 accounts?
Yes, you want to do business as a name, as sole proprietor, and you can use your social, and you can open up a trust account, because what's going to happen is once you file your 1041, they're going to send a check to the trust, right?
Mm-hmm,
You're going to deposit that trust account that check into your trust account.
mm-hmm.
And then every month I would transfer, depending on how much you get back, between $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month, and then use your sole proprietor to do business as you live your life as you do. But at the same time, those deposits that you make every month, you can claim at the end of the year. So we're
Okay.
basically recycling credits. Somebody say something?
No, it's all good.
Okay.
Okay. All
Let me
right.
see here.
So then I would be making a deposit, whether it's 25 or $100 or whatever it is. I would be going to the bank, and when I open up those accounts, I would be putting FRN notes as a deposit towards it. And then
You be
what
transferring. Like if you have a bank like I do, I can do everything online. I can just transfer from my trust account to my sole proprietor.
once they're open, I'm just
Yes.
asking opening them. Okay, so we're opening them. We're not claiming the signature card. We're not doing anything as far as nothing like you said, FDIC or anything like that. We're not doing anything like that. We're just walking in like regular, opening up a trust account, opening up a sole proprietor, putting in are these savings or checkings?
Your trust account is going to be a regular account.
Regular
And your sole
savings?
proprietor, you could be a savings or checking.
Okay.
And your sole proprietor is just going to be a regular checking account.
Okay.
And Jeanette, just to be clear, what Vince shared is that when you get the refunds or checks from the IRS, those go into the trust account. Those will be deposited in the trust account.
Right.
And then you can transfer funds from the trust into the sole proprietor account for whatever else you're doing.
Right, like he said, recycling. No, I get that. That part I get. Like once we do the B, I get that part. I just wanted to know the initial walking in, if there was, if we needed to add, if we needed to open it up with FRN notes. That's what I wanted to know. Okay.
So the other quick question, Vince, are these interest-bearing accounts or non-interest-bearing accounts, knowing that interest-bearing accounts require us to file taxes?
You can do non-interest bearing accounts if you want to.
Non-interest bearing.
Yes.
Okay.
So Vince, does the strawman have to file taxes every year as well as the trust? So there'll be 2 sets of taxes?
Yes, you can. Yes, indeedy.
You can, or do you have a choice, or you must file both?
Let's see. I got 21,000 back on the 1040 for my COVID credits, and then I got a nice little amount back on my trust account. Those are 2 different entities. Stop playing with my emotions. Y'all better start using them. You know what I mean?
Got it.
What are the COVID credits?
See? You better look it up.
Okay.
So during them times when it's COVID, if somebody in your family had COVID and you had to take care of them, you can claim those credits back.
Nah,
Let's
do you
see
have
here.
to have a business for that, or can you use that with your social?
Your social. Yes, indeed. As a matter of who in here hasn't filed their taxes yet on the 1040 side?
Yeah,
I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm going to put a number in here that y'all need to call so she can do your COVID credits for you.
We're not a taxpayers. How about that?
Huh?
How about if you're not a taxpayer?
What you mean if you're not a taxpayer?
You haven't filed taxes.
How long ago?
File tax return.
How long ago was that?
5 years.
almost 10.
Yeah, maybe.
To volunteer into the system anymore?
You don't volunteer into the system anymore?
Nope.
Well, you're gonna have to come on back.
I'll come back.
You're gonna have to come on back. Stop playing, everybody. Hey, this is the way the system is designed. We're just learning how to play the game the right way instead of the wrong way.
Okay.
Okay, I just posted 2 videos in there in the chat.
So, Vince, that video you sent out for the homework, it says something about a business card. Are we supposed to be requesting some type of card when we open up this trust account as well?
Well, they should give you a debit card.
Okay.
They should give you a debit card. Like, I'll show you mine.
Account is going to be a savings account or it's going to be a checking account? Because they don't give you a debit card on a savings account.
Yeah, mine is a checking account. Matter of fact, let me show you. That way you can see.
So Vince, for that COVID credit, can you do an amendment to get the credit?
You should be able to. I'll post her number. Just tell her I sent you.
Then you're putting that into the Telegram.
Yes.
Yeah, he put the 2 videos already in the Telegram. Okay. So
The number for the contact that he has regarding the COVID credits.
Oh, I'm trying to find my, where is it?
the contact. Okay. So Vince, I have to just clarify this just to kind of get it through my brain. And I'm sorry that if I'm beating a dead horse, but with your process, we go through life the regular way. We have this trust account, we have this sole proprietor account, which is in the all caps. And we do our daily, continue to pay our bills, however we've been paying them, whatever. And then you state that at the end of the year, or is it like every 3 months or every 4 months, we do this 1099-B? And then
No, once a year.
once a year, we do the 1099-B, meaning that we keep all receipts throughout the year, all statements and everything else throughout the year. And then, go ahead.
Oh, I said, right. Remember, everything that we file a 1099-B on, we can prove it.
Right.
So, secure cash for rent for 1B would be whatever you paid monthly. You have a lease, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's proof. Secure cash for utilities. You can add them all up and put it on 1B.
And then
proof,
once
right?
right. So is that our 1040 once we do the B, or once we do the B, we need to do a 1040?
Once we do the B, we're putting it on a 1041.
All right.
That's the return for the trust. The 1041 is the return for the trust.
Okay,
Yes.
return on the trust. Okay.
And Vince, like rent, do mortgage payments? Can we recoup the mortgage payments on a 1099-B as well?
Yes, you can.
Terrific. So then essentially there's then no expense out of pocket each year because you get it all back.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is. Because we're not supposed to be paying for nothing, right?
Right, because the trust is hanging on the full faith and credit. Okay, the trust is still hanging on the full faith and credit. All right. Okay.
Look at y'all. Okay. It's clicking.
So Vince,
It's clicking.
for you. If we're in a situation where we have a rental unit and I have tenants and I want to be able to extend the same opportunity to them, is that too complicated as a landlord? Is there something that I can do? Like if they file 1099-B on me, that obviously I have to file taxes on that. But is there some way to do some sort of an exchange where I'm not being penalized by them? They'll get that credit back unless at that point, I guess I could up the rent. because
Cover for what you have to pay.
Yeah.
no, it's true. That's true, Jeanette. That's the only way I can think that it would be reasonable is that then they're not, that they're able to live comfortably without, and obviously sock away their savings, and then I can up the rent enough to cover for repairs and the taxes. Is that reasonable?
Right?
Is that equitable?
That sounds like a plan.
Well, you have
How
to
much-
be mindful though, France, that you're only going to file this at the end of the year. So you
Year.
have to work out that they still have to pay you for that year.
Yeah,
You
right.
got to work that out.
Yeah.
I mean, once they file it, that they get the money, then you can, you recycle. But this first year, you're gonna have to work it out.
Yeah, you're right. I understand what you're saying. I can't just jack it up and then they'd be harmed by that the first year. Unless
Right.
this actually, and the young lady could be, and now that, yeah, so she actually could be in great shape because she could take some of those resources from this year and apply them to perhaps an increased rent next year. And
Well, why don't you just do your B first
yeah,
and get your money in, so that this way you can let them ride for a year if you want to.
got it. Yeah, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So Vince, if you already have checking account, but that's no good because we need to set it up as a sole proprietor.
Yes,
account.
indeed.
So we need a separate set of two accounts. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So please talk to us about foreclosure. How do we stop a foreclosure?
My phone keep ringing. I'll call you back. Jeez. Send somebody a thing saying. Okay, what was the question?
Please discuss foreclosure. How do we stop a foreclosure with your process?
Okay, so when they go into your pockets, we're gonna have to go in theirs. So basically, once you order the CUSIP number for the foreclosure, I mean, you order the CUSIP number for the mortgage loan, and you order the CUSIP number for the court case. Once those 1090, then you file a 1099-B on them. Once they've been accepted, you're going to send in an affidavit of truth to the court case and to the servicer, mortgage provider. You know, let them know they securitize this, blah, 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 blah. You know, you're going to have the 1099-B that's been accepted by the IRS, and you're going to have the CUSIP number under it as proof of the value of the fraud that they did. You see what I'm saying? So basically, you're letting them know that you know what is going on and that you're creating an audit with the IRS. Is that making sense?
Okay, and then go ahead. And then from
And
there,
then-
like, what if they just, what if they just say, okay, so we'll see what happens, because the IRS doesn't work that fast anyway.
Okay, but when you e-file that 1099-B, once it gets accepted, the IRS is going to send them that 1099-B. You're just putting them on notice again that it's coming. And you're going to do the same thing with your court case.
Okay,
Is
and
that-
then,
So basically, you're getting the IRS involved because this is fraudulent stuff. The court
Yes.
securitized, apothecated, and so did your mortgage company. Okay?
yes, and then what happens after that?
Then once you file that stuff on to your case, stuff will start to disappear. That's just like my man Rick. He had a foreclosure and we did the CUSIP number, we did the 1099-B. He filed a complaint and he wasn't getting no traction until he did that. Then he got a letter from the court administrator of Pennsylvania saying that the what's the name of that company? Universal Trust Company has 10 days to answer these questions or the case will be closed. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, all right.
Not the clerk of the court administrator of the state replied to him.
Okay,
See, because now you're going into a deeper level. You're going into their pockets.
And Jeanette, and to Vince's point, I think that the quicker if you use your CUSIP number, for the mortgage, the loan number and the court case, get that filed in, that you likely could get the voluntary motion to dismiss. And I got one of those myself, and I didn't know what it was at the time, but they did that in my unlawful detainer. I suspect that that would suspend everything at that point.
Okay, thank you, Fran. So what I wanted to ask you, Vince, is once that is going, what happens? Will the IRS send us money? Will we get, those that are in foreclosure, those that are doing the 1099-B, will that money be returned to us?
You can then put that into your trust. You can transfer those credits to your trust as a gift.
And the IRS.
But then,
Go ahead.
But then we can also, it's up to you. You can also see, you can also do a W-4 on the CUSIP number. And if it wasn't for me hearing this lady talk to the lady from the remittance office, because I wasn't really into that W-4 sandwich stuff, I like to go big. So, well, that's a whole nother, we'll talk about that later on.
So we do the 1099-B and the W-4 on the, we do both.
Yeah, do them both.
Okay, cool.
Do them both.
And
do them both.
I'm sorry. And Jeanette, just real quick, don't forget that he just showed us where they entered the copy of the revocable living trust into the case, and they backed out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Administrating. So yep, that's huge. Thank you, Robert.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's
yes.
That's in the group. A copy of that is in the group.
Yeah, I just, Robert, I've heard that even with a trust, sometimes these judges and sometimes these courts, they keep going. It's good,
That's
but it's not always.
Can't see. That's because they cannot see your paperwork. When you have a certified copy recorded in the state, in the county, they have to see it now. See, everybody wants to put in all this paperwork. Them judges ain't worried about that. But if you got a certified copy that's been recorded in the county, the state's been put on notice. They have to see it.
And that's true.
Got it.
Letting them see all
entered into a court matter has to be certified and authenticated. So to Vince's point, if you're pulling a certified copy, number one, anything that, if you get that, and maybe you mentioned this, Vince, once that notary applies their stamp to the trust itself, if maybe we get that authenticated, because that they cannot refute. Evidence technically must be certified, authenticated, have a witness with firsthand knowledge of the facts, which is you. So they cannot negate it, they cannot ignore it. And that's the challenge that many of us had, including myself, when the judge asked, okay, when I said, Your Honor, I've claimed the name in the estate as Kohate, and she said, I need you to bring forth something that the court can see. And that's what Vince is saying. They can't deny something that's on the public record that it's certified. And if you even get it, that the notary authenticated, that trumps everything.
How do you authenticate a notary? I thought the notary, that was the certification.
No,
you go to the county court. You can go to the county court for that county and get that notary's signature certified. And then you
all
take
they do is they verify for you that the notary is in good standing. So that's a second seal. Your signature is the first seal. The second seal is the notary stamp, and the third seal, anytime you get 3 seals, that's great, is just and sometimes like in Illinois, I think it's the Secretary of State's office, and you can walk the document right in. I think it's like $5, and they'll authenticate it right then and there. So now you've got not only is it certified, but now it's certified and authenticated. And technically, any evidence that's entered into a court matter must be certified, authenticated, and have a witness who has firsthand knowledge of the facts, which would be you. That meaning you can testify under penalty of perjury that that's your trust, your hand, your signature, and then the notary stamps speaks for themselves.
And that's done in the county clerk, you saying?
Your notary,
you
your
can.
notary, obviously you can get that done anywhere. You may need to Google wherever you're located, where how to authenticate a notary stamp. So it depends
Yeah.
if various.
If you're close to your county, if you're close to your county court, it would be the best. If you're not, then like Fran said, Google it.
Okay,
I've done it before. What you do is that you figure out where the notary took their oath. So then you go to that court or county that they took their oath, and you take that document to them, they will certify it. And after they certify it, you take it to your state. And the state will now certify it for good faith and this thing. If you want, you can go to federal and do the same thing. I've done it.
okay, so typically it's four seals, right? Yours, which is like your signature, the notary, which is their stamp, and then the notary can get certified at wherever they took their oath, like the county or the city, and then you can send up to the state to get authenticated.
Yeah, but we don't have to go that far.
Yeah, you don't have to go that far,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, we
But
keep
those are the
using
four
same-
seals. Yes,
so we
Robert.
keep using the same terminology and it gets confusing because we're saying authenticating twice when it's actually certification and authentication are the last two steps if you want to go that far.
So I'm
Not-
gonna throw something out there. Okay, so here I am with the trust. Now I am the grantor, I am also the trustee, and I am also the beneficiary to this trust. Sometimes the judge will look at it and, will say, well, if you're the grantor, you're the beneficiary, you just did this so as not to lose the house. You know what I'm saying? Have you had anyone experience that in your process?
Is he? What you mean? So he's trying to question the trust? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's
You're
questioning.
where you
I have heard
you're
that
where you
happening
need to be.
also. Sir, I have heard that happening also.
Okay, so if that is happening, what is he gonna say about that affidavit of fact with the 1099B and the CUSIP number?
All right, so that's the enforcement right there. All right, cool. All right.
Mhm.
And I think the other thing, Jeanette, and anybody else who's in similar circumstances, if you're questioned, a trust now has been expressed, not only, your revocable living trust, but then they're looking to settle the matter. And if either they do it themselves or you move the court to dismiss. But that doesn't, I'm assuming, make the debt go away. Then you still have to go back and figure out how to settle the debt, which is what the 1099B would do, unless I would suspect that opposing counsel would want to meet with you outside of the court to settle the debt. I would surmise once you provide evidence of the trust and the 1099B and the CUSIPs, that they're gonna want to meet with thine adversary privately and figure out how to dismiss the sale, the trustee's sale, or make dismiss the case, stop the trustee's sale, but then the debt obviously has to be settled.
And the 1099B is settling the debt.
Okay. Well, there you
That's
have
what it's
it.
for.
So my last question, I think it'll be my last question. I'm sorry. Once I record this, because I'm doing this week, because I'm doing this week. Once I record it in the county. Now you said to record the trust miscellaneous. So I know you and I had spoken and I had said that I wanted to put the house in the trust. And you said I could do that. But now I'm wondering if I really have to, because your wording says everything, right? All, real and all this and that. So if I record it as a miscellaneous. All right, so whether I record it with that for the house itself or whether I record it with the miscellaneous, should I then go to the foreclosure department court and have my trust e-filed, or just e-file the notice that a trust exists? Should I put that on the case, or should I just surprise them, certified, registered, or however, that, hey, the trust is the house is in a trust, and guess what? There's a 1099-B receipt here. Which way should I do it?
Put them on notice. That way they'll close it before you get there.
So
they'll have you go. They'll have you go there and it'll be gone.
Okay, so which notice? Which notice am I sending them?
I would do the trust and the affidavit of fact with the CUSIP number and the 1099-B.
Okay, so then wait for that. Okay, gotcha.
Because you're exposing a fraud. You see what I'm saying? You're exposing that double bookkeeping entry. And now they know that the IRS is coming. What you think they're going to do?
All right, cool. Thank you.
They're going to run.
Say it again.
They will run. They will dismiss the case right away when they see that.
There you go.
They don't play around with the IRS.
So Vince, the 1099-B on the mortgage you can do right away. You don't need to wait till the end of the year, right? Just get the CUSIP numbers and file it right away.
Yep, you sure can.
And,
you're setting yourself up. Whatever B's you do this year, you're setting yourself up for 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't every time you go after a CUSIP number, isn't that an expensive endeavor? Every time you go after one number?
No, West charges $150 a CUSIP.
And Millie, all you need is one, and it'll pay for everything else coming your way after that. If you get a CUSIP number on one significant account, who cares how much it is?
Oh, that's an
well,
interesting. Go ahead, Vince.
Doing nothing.
Here's the thing. I understand what you're saying, but if you're like me, you want it all. All this fraud that's been done to us, like I did a W-4 on my driver's license, CUSIP, my social security account, marriage certificate. You see where I'm going with this?
Oh, you recently did a W-4 on all those accounts?
Yeah, I did it about 3 weeks ago.
Okay. All right. You have it. Okay. All right. So that's pending.
I'll put mine in. I'll put mine in here.
Well, no, just let us know your results, because we kind of, most of us are familiar with the process. Just let us know your results, though. But Vince, when we do the 1099-B, what is the amount? Is it the amount of the loan or the amount of the payoff that they're asking?
The amount of the loan. When you signed the contract, what was the amount of the loan?
Okay. It was a lot less than what they're asking for now. Okay.
Yes, indeedy.
So Vince, I have a question with the W-4. Did you have to sign the 1040?
I don't think I signed it. See, I got these instructions from listening to her talk to the remittance lady. So everything that I did is per her instructions. I know that she worked there. I gotta find mine. Hold on, y'all.
Yeah, I would love to see yours, Vince.
And I'd like to know who the remittance lady is. Is that, again, I mean, when I say that, was that somebody with the IRS?
Yeah, she works. Okay, so basically, this girl, she filed a W-4, right? And she had called me up asking me for help with the trust because her son was in jail. And I was telling her, you have to put your son in your trust. You know what I mean? And she put her son in her trust, and then she did a W-4 on the corrections department, right? They was blowing up her phone. Then she got a call from the remittance lady, because she did a couple W-4s on a couple different things. The lady from the remittance office called her and said, you're almost there. She said, for one, do not write over that stamp on that 1040-V. She said, just put your name, social security number, and the date, and put the stamp over it, because when you write over that stamp, you are defacing government property, and we can reject your application. Then she also told her to get a TDA account, because she had got a check, and she asked her if she cash her check. She said no. She said, we need you to send that check back and open up a TDA account, because you have a lot more credits coming to you. Making sense?
Yep.
Is
The
it making
I'm
credits,
sense?
there. I'm
the
there
credits
because
won't go to the trust account?
The credit's going to your Treasury Direct account.
Treasury Direct account.
And then you
Because
that to the trust?
there you go. There you go. It's sinking in. Yes, it's sinking in.
Because the TDA holds the credit.
Right, because
Now,
she said most banks, if we can't deposit that amount of credit into your regular bank account. So you have to have
Right, they'll
a
close the bank
TDA.
account. They'll close the
Yeah.
bank account. They see
Mhm.
over 100K drop in, just like, flow. They'll close the account real quick. Like, where does money come from?
yep,
Mhm.
they close it and come after you.
Mhm. So you got to have that TDA account. And when she did once we put her son in trust and she did a W-4 on him, she got an email from the corrections department of Utah saying that your corpse will be released high noon Tuesday. I'm like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? But then they're putting him through some stuff. He just got convicted about 3 months ago. Now he got a parole hearing next week. Make that make sense?
Is her
It
son a
actually
minor
said the
or
word
an
corpse.
adult?
Yes, they did.
Wow. Wow.
Is her son a minor or an adult? Do you know?
He's an adult.
Okay.
He's an adult, but she's the mother.
Yeah, she's still alive. That's right.
Yep.
So we
He's in
can
her
put
trust.
our adult children in the trust as the
Yes, indeed.
beneficiaries.
There you go. Or successor trustees. Yes, indeed. And if they get in any trouble like that, you can help them out.
Does this
Ah.
work on what you call it? Financial judgments, like money judgments for loans and things like that? If you have a court case I have a court case that I lost, and they say I owe them, I don't know, I think it's about $20,000 plus some interest right now.
Okay, so they sent you a bill, huh?
They sent me a judgment from a magistrate at a court.
Does it have a court case number?
Yes.
I'm gonna let that sink in right there.
QC.
I'm gonna let you answer your own question.
This is from years ago. I haven't paid it yet. Does that matter?
I'm just saying.
So
Okay.
Dee, you
If
have
you- if
the,
it got-
you have the court case number. Do you remember what Vince said you can do with the court case number? That's an account number. You need to go get it, see if there's a CUSIP on it.
Okay.
And then once you have that CUSIP, you can do the 1099B, and that would likely be one where credits would come back, but it'd have to go to a TDA account.
Make it
Okay.
make sense.
So now I'm a little confused. So are we opening a TDA account? I know you mentioned the trust account and the what you call it?
I
sole
have
proprietor.
I have a video on the TDA account too. I'll post it in there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So how about
Yes,
those
indeed.
those who already have a TDA account but probably don't remember the particulars? Have to open a new one?
You probably do. You probably do. Yeah, so basically we're gonna watch the videos. I gotta find that W-4 video we did. I know he sent it to me. I just don't know where he sent it to me at. Everybody got 7 different names. Just like awake, still alive, private citizen. Then when you text me, oh, this is Gerald. This is Gerald. Well, who the fuck is Gerald? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Who am I talking to?
Yeah. Who's behind that mask?
Exactly. I had one girl call me like, "This is Karen. You know, this is Karen." I'm like, "Karen who?" "Oh, this is Kitty Cat." "Oh my God, for real?" You know. Okay, yeah. So yeah, go over the videos. I'll post some more, and I'll do my W. Wait a minute, didn't Lorna do? Hey, Joanna, didn't Laura do a sanitized copy of the W4?
Sanitized.
Yeah, because I did one with all my information on it.
Oh,
You
okay,
know,
okay.
it
Yeah,
had
that
all
needs to
my
be
information.
sanitized. Yeah.
So let me find it.
So, one last question.
Oh.
When you do your account, when you walk into the bank that you're opening your accounts, do you put a beneficiary on there?
No, you don't need that.
Okay.
Unless you want a co-trustee, then they gonna have to be there with you to sign.
And Vince, didn't you send us, and maybe I'm dreaming, a link to how to set up a bank account online, or am I dreaming?
You know what? I don't know what I might have sent you. I ain't gonna even lie.
No worries. That could have been somewhere else that I saw that, because I know some of us have struggled, because one thing you made clear on our Saturday call is my challenge is when I attempted to set up a trust account for an estate living trust, they kept requiring the social security number. Now, what I didn't have at the time, I was a public recorded document, a certified copy of the public recorded document. But they each bank I went to, which is Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citi, they said they will not open a trust account without a social. So even though I had an EIN, they said we needed to have a social security number attached to it.
Interesting. Mine is not associated with anything.
Yeah.
But my EIN.
I think it's somewhere on the SSA website that they can't require social security numbers.
Correct. Even the IRS says that they actually say that you should have an EIN so that you do not use your social security number.
Is there a limit to how many items we can have in the Schedule A?
You can amend it anytime you want to.
Okay.
Let's see here.
And then once it's amended, that Schedule A amendment is re-recorded in that same in the county, right? So that they know.
Yep, you can do that. I'll put in a Schedule Away from Hell if y'all want me to. Y'all want me to put in here a Schedule Away from Hell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on, y'all. Oh man, what was I looking for? I did the W4. I put that in here. There was something else I was looking for.
The TDA account or something that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that video.
Okay. And the person to get the COVID credit for.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Because I've been a caretaker and I'm still taking care of my mom who had COVID. 90 years old.
Yes. Somebody write this number down in the chat. 757 256 6161. Her name is Kim L. Dr. Kim.
Yeah. Vince.
Yes, indeed.
Is there a way of getting credits or some type of refund from Social Security if you're getting like a small Social Security check every month?
You know what? I did order the CUSIP for my Social Security account, and that thing says it's worth $339 million. And they giving us these little punk checks, right?
Yeah, I get like $119. That's crazy.
Oh my God! You see what I'm saying? Make it make sense.
I know. I paid in
There
over
was something else
$60,000.
I'm trying to think. Oh, I gotta send out a sticker on how to do the stamp, right?
Can you repeat the number? I don't think anybody got it in the chat yet.
Oh, they
for
did.
Dr.
Oh,
Kim?
It's
Yeah, put it in the chat.
It's there.
It's
Oh,
there.
okay.
Look in the chat.
okay. The name of that group, Charlie Brown.
Hey, Vince, when you mean the stamp, is that endorsement stamp?
No, on the back of your 1040V.
Oh, they pay to the other stamp?
No, no, I'm about to put it in there right now.
Okay.
Forward to. This is how you do the 1040V with the stamp. And I have my 10 for W4. Y'all can see that W4, okay, right?
Vince, on the stamp, you're saying don't write across the stamp, just write on the either side, or is that what you said?
No, put your social security number, you know, by your name, the date, and put the 2-cent stamp right over it.
Oh, the stamp goes over your signature
Yes.
rather than writing doing the signature over the stamp.
Right.
So this is the correct way to do it.
There you go.
And what about, do you
A
recommend
2-cent
using-
stamp? I'm sorry, the 2-cent stamp?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Vince, do you recommend using thumbprint anywhere on your trust as a seal?
No, you don't have to.
Don't have to do it. Okay.
Mm-mm.
And on the mortgage, if you have paid, over the years, you kind of pay 2-3 times the initial amount, are you able to recoup any of that or no?
Yes, you can.
How do you do that?
You can do it. You can do it with the 1099B or the W4.
Got it.
Like me, I ordered the QSIP number for it. That way, I'm sending them right to the double bookkeeping entry.
And remember,
deal.
he's coming back to CUSIP. And on that 1099B, it asks for the CUSIP, correct?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Get them, Francine. Talk to me. I keep saying
Detail,
QSIP,
we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back for it.
Because just like when they was explaining to me about the W4, and I was like, I understand, but I'm not sitting up here with all these goddamn receipts. The only sandwich I want is a goddamn ham and cheese, all right? So I started thinking big. I'm like, well, wait a minute. While y'all sitting up here with them little receipts, I'm gonna go for the big thing. Let me put my keys up on this one and send it on in. You know what I mean? See what happens.
Have you seen any results on the W4 yet?
Well, she got a check. She did something on her mortgage. She got a check for 120. She did a couple of them. She had got a check for 120,000, and then a lady called her and told her to send that check back and open up a Treasury Direct account because the banks cannot hold these type of credits that you're about to get.
And did you the W4 you learned the W4 from her?
Yes, with the address. She let me listen to the telephone call.
Okay. Thank you.
Is this
Because
from,
I don't. Oh, go ahead.
Is this from Felicia?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
So, quick question regarding the CUSIPs in West Jarvis, because my understanding, Vince, is when you get a CUSIP, for example, I got the CUSIP for a mortgage and then another one for the loan servicer for the loan account. And my understanding is all that major CUSIP directs them to is the fund that CUSIP is trading in. And there could be a ton of other CUSIPs in that fund. So with West Jarvis, and I am familiar with him, my understanding is you need somebody like a Series 9 or a Series 7 broker who can go into that fund and drill down into it to find the actual proceeds and interest attached to your specific CUSIP. But you can't just give them the CUSIP to the general fund that it's trading in. So my point being, again, when with Wes, when you request a CUSIP, typically it's just a CUSIP to the fund that the loan is trading in, but it's not the actual loan itself. And you have to be careful. I was told that if you submit that CUSIP to the actual fund, you can get in trouble for that because other people or other CUSIPs, there could be hundreds and thousands of other CUSIPs within that major CUSIP or under that major CUSIP. So what we're looking
Okay,
for
so-
are the minor CUSIP.
Okay, so let's do it this way. Would you rather you do it or the IRS do it?
Most certainly the IRS.
You just answered your question. All you doing is telling them where to
as
go
long as
to.
you're directing them to the fund, even if it's a major CUSIP that directs them to the fund that it's trading in, the IRS will go track it down. Is that what you're saying? Is that what your understanding is?
Everything is attached to the social now, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
The IRS has your social, don't they?
Yeah.
That's all I'm
It's interesting. Okay, and of course, in their books, their accounting, that they would be able to go marshal the securities, all the
Mhm.
securities. Okay, great.
There you go. That's why I be like, people be talking, you need this CUSIP, you need that, like you just said, and I'd be like, I'm just telling them where to go look at. They'll find it. I'm quite sure all I got to do is make one phone call, or at least just put your goddamn social into the system, and it's gonna pop right on up. I mean, we know that it's not just us in those CUSIP numbers, but 3 to 5% of whatever it's worth, I'm fine. I'm okay. What you think?
Shit, you could W for that DD-214 then if you get the CUSIP for it.
Say that one more time.
The DD-214, the military discharge paper.
Oh, wait, you just reminded me. Wait a minute.
I'm about to do mine.
No, my DD-14 don't have an account. I'm gonna have to look at that again.
No.
Oh, our selective service number though. Our
Your
selective service, there
number
it is.
and your military ID, your DOD number. That's your account number right there.
Stop playing with me.
Yes,
Stop
sir.
playing with me. Yep.
Uh-huh.
But I heard the selective service was the best one, was the biggest one.
Man,
So and you can go to SSA website and get your certificate for your selective service.
Yeah, I already got the selective service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that.
I think I printed mine off about 2 years ago and forgot all about that. Jeez. Glad you reminded me. Good stuff. Well, look like I'm gonna be doing another W-4. You call Wes up, telling me I need this.
Is there a
for the
reason
selective
why
service
you wouldn't put those on the 1099B?
Well, from what I'm hearing, I mean, it's best to do them both. I would do them both. Now that I know what I know, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hit them every way that you can. You know?
Yeah, they don't really give us any breathing room either. I
Right.
mean,
See,
with the COVID hardship, that was it, but still they want to come out at you with both guns.
well, the thing I like about the 1099B is when you e-file it, the IRS sends them the letter, not you. See what I'm saying? That holds more weight than anything. Hey, Bob, what is this? Oh, send it up to the CFO. Man, he gonna look at that thing and probably fall out of his chair.
You file a separate 1099B for every account.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I have a question about the trust. Am I signing my
Okay.
3 times on the trust? Because I see that it's on here. It says grantor, trustee. Am I signing 3 times?
Hold on. Who was I talking to earlier today? I think I might have sent y'all the wrong one, I think.
Oh.
Send you a picture of my signature page. No,
Yeah,
they're still the
you was
same.
talking to me, D.
Did
Yeah,
you
you're
pull
gonna
some
sign
pictures I
that
sent?
multiple times, Malogros. I'm sorry, what did you say, Vince?
Those pictures I sent you. Can you
Uh-huh.
post them again? Let me see
Okay.
if I can find.
One of them has your driver's license on it.
I'll give him one thing. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
I got it right here. 1,
Okay.
2.
So Vince, you travel with your driver's license and you register your car and all that stuff.
I registered my car under my trust. I don't do all that other stuff. I just registered the car under my trust. Took the title to DMV, registered under the trust with the EIN number. That way, when they run the tag and say trust, it ain't gonna say nothing about me.
Gotcha.
So that's actually great to know, because right now I need to register my vehicle with the Illinois DMV, and I need to get a new driver's license. So register, so as you said, register the car to the trust. Any advice on the driver's license, Vince?
I really never thought about the. You know what? Let me call my best friend up tonight. He's the manager for the for PennDOT up here. I'm gonna see if I can take my declaration of trust and get my license over. See what he said. I'm glad you asked that question. Good stuff. See, because I feel if you got your trust declaration, I wonder if they could do that. I'll find out. But remember, we in their drawers, we're operating in their commerce, so we got to do what they say. It's just knowing how to operate the right way.
Right. And somebody, I had asked this question in another circle over the weekend, and the thought was that you go ahead and just do everything the way you normally would, register your car, go ahead and get the driver's license, but then shortly thereafter, give them notice of trust. So then they know, send the evidence, the declaration, the certified copy from the county, the recording, and then the thought is that they will do whatever they need to do behind the scenes. That in the public, your driver's license looks the same, your driver's license plates may look the same, but behind the scenes, they'll make note that it's now held in trust, and that they'll do whatever they need to in the system so that if you're pulled over, there's a do not detain, or that they know they've been notified. So in essence, again, it was do everything the way you normally would and then you accept those as grantee. They're granting the driver's license, they're granting the registration. You accept that into the trust. Now that they both become trust res, those documents, those accounts, and then you just give them notice of trust after that. So that, and maybe at the end of the year, you can do a 1099-B on those things each year.
Okay. I'm gonna call Dana up, see what he say about that.
That would be great.
I'll definitely find out.
And I was doing some research today on houses when you transfer it into the trust with a warranty or a quick claim deed, and they can't do a due on sale clause or call your loan, try to make you pay off the full balance of the loan due to the protection is the Garn-St. Germain Act. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that or not, but it says when a property is transferred into a living trust, that homeowners whose mortgage contains a due on sale clause, they receive protection from that act. That's an exception to the due on sale clause. So you can transfer your interest in the property, transfer the deed for your interest in the property without triggering a due on sale clause.
Okay. So you're getting vicious. Vicious. Okay, we got some heavy hitters in here, huh? Got some heavy hitters. I love it.
Some heavy thinkers.
Yeah.
So Vince, the question still is out there from Millie and the group in terms of when we signed the trust document. She asked if you signed as the trust. Oh, he put it in Millie, he's got it in the telegram. And everybody should note that this is on legal size paper, the trust document.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I didn't know that. So
But
I
you
was gonna
can
do it
you
online.
can put it on 8.5 by 11 though, can't you?
Does it have to be on bond also, or no?
Just legal paper.
Just legal size, okay.
So then make it on legal paper.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't do it on
Just go
8.5 by 11?
No, just go ahead and edit it out and send it to FedEx. Tell them you want it on legal paper.
Okay, legal paper. Okay, I'm glad you said that. All right, cool.
They call it legal paper for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Legal size.
Yes, indeed.
Does the straw has to have a blue backer? Blue backer?
Say again?
I said, does he have to be have a blue backer? Like I think there's somehow they put the trust in the blue.
No, it doesn't matter.
Blue back. Okay.
What about the
doesn't
ink?
matter.
Should you sign it in don't sign it in black ink? Or does that make a difference?
It don't make a difference.
Okay.
Only thing that makes a difference is that notary stamp and them witnesses and that certified copy. File number on top of it. You know what I mean?
I could use my mama as a witness?
Yes, you can.
So I was told you can use family, like you can use beneficiaries. No, I was told you can't use beneficiaries as witnesses to a trust.
Right, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
So if my mom is a beneficiary, she can't sign as a witness either.
Correct. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll sign.
Thank you. Jim.
I mean, for real, for real.
Just
Phone
yeah, you
keep
stop
ringing.
talking for real. What happened?
No, my phone keep ringing. If you're cool with your notary, just put somebody in there and keep it going. He'll stamp it. You know what I mean? You know, me and my notary have been doing business for a long time.
I did notice that some of your witnesses had the handwriting of another.
The same handwriting, didn't it?
I did notice that. I didn't want to say anything, but it seemed like it.
Hey, don't you tell nobody.
But
Yes,
if
indeed.
you go to the notary though, and you ask them that, do they have witnesses available? They'll let you know, and they could sign. Because I did a document like that before, and I did 2 witnesses, and they charged like $2 extra for the witness.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
So now, with the witnesses, do they have to put their address and all that stuff, or just their
They just put the
signature is fine?
address where they're working at. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
Did you answer the question of whether we had to use Federal Reserve notes when we open these accounts at the bank?
Man, just put $5 in there and keep it moving.
Okay.
Ain't no bank gonna open for $5. Yes.
I don't know. Navy Federal did.
And
PNC Bank did.
Bethpage Federal did also. It's a credit union. They did it for $5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And with the sole proprietor account, these accounts, we using those exclusively for this 1099, right? Don't use them for other stuff. Well,
your name is a business. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing business as the name. You have a trust account, which you are the trustee, beneficiary, and grantor, which isn't you. You have a sole proprietor account. You're doing business as a name, and that isn't you. You see what Trump doing out here?
So when you say it's sole proprietor, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're just talking about the social, just open the bank account with the social.
Right, exactly.
And your DBA.
Because I know in the
Right.
IRS they have a sole proprietor EIN you could get too. So that's why I was just asking that part to clarify.
Yeah, I just use the social. See, I just use the social because that social runs everything. That
So-
social's connected to everything.
So that's a good question, what she was asking between private and public. So all this is really there's no private account that we're doing at all. The trust account
No,
is, okay, so it's nothing private, okay.
I never understood that public and private because my main thing is I want you to know who you dealing with. If your trust is private and you locked up, what you gonna do? They
No,
can't
I
see
meant
it.
the accounts. I meant the accounts, the bank accounts. Like if we're
Oh, well-
accepting money from the IRS, should we commingle that income or that money, that refund with our deposits and, payments of bills?
So-
Everything that you do with that trust account, you're gonna either transfer or you're gonna swipe.
Right,
But
you don't
you're
want
not
to
gonna
pull no
withdraw
funds. Don't pull no funds
Yeah.
out of it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, transfer or swipe, okay.
There you go.
And the only funds you'll be putting in that trust account would be from the
The check.
treasury,
Yep.
direct treasury deposit. You have your
Mhm.
other checking account to put your own personal things in.
Mm-hmm.
What is the
Okay.
DBA? What does that stand for?
Doing business as.
Oh. Thank you.
You all right? You okay, Linda? You okay?
So one
Yes,
more
indeed.
question. I mean, I'm sure it's a simple answer, but should we open the trust account and the sole proprietor account at the same bank? Or would it be better to open one at each, at different banks?
I have a sole proprietor trust account at 2 banks.
The same bank?
Yep.
The same bank has the trust and the sole proprietor.
You don't see my ATM cards in the trust?
I wasn't.
I mean, in the
really-
chat.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah,
really
both
looking.
P and C.
Okay.
Now, you can open more than one trust bank account at different banks.
Sure can. Yes, you can.
In one of the recordings you sent, they mentioned something about having simultaneously, they used the term revocable and irrevocable trust accounts simultaneously. What?
I mentioned that. I ain't never heard of that before. That's different.
No, that
Yes,
was
it was in the recording.
in the recording.
The first one you put. I had a question on that too, because it said.
Was that
you
me
have-
talking?
No, it wasn't you talking.
Oh, okay. That was somebody else putting in their input. Okay. Okay, that was somebody else putting in their input.
So I
Um,
took it as your social security trust is probably irrevocable and the one you are creating is a revocable. That's how I interpreted it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to change a irrevocable to a revocable, or would you just need to start over?
I would start over.
Okay.
I would start over. Get them right. Get them right.
Now, you had quoted
hey.
a page in Weiss handbook that
Yeah.
discussed
Wise
what
concise.
right. What page? You said the page number.
I think it was page 8 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what you said, something like, yeah, okay. Page.
Yeah, and it tells you that the revocable living trust is the only trust that the corporation can't pierce. And then you have everybody out here saying, yes, they can. Yes, they can. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I'm not going to argue with you. Do what you do. You know what I mean? And what you're going to notice is everything that I'm telling you is written. You know what I mean? I'm not putting my own ideologies in here or theories. I'm doing exactly what they say to do. Nothing else. And through all this process, you don't see nothing but a UCC or a birth certificate, do you?
Nah,
Hallelujah for that.
process is so simple, man. You can just throw
You
the
see where I'm
other
going with
out the window.
all that paperwork y'all done printed up, all those wheels and stuff. I got a match for you. All right. I'm just playing with y'all. I know. I know. It's okay.
So
Do you
started-
really
started-
need a will if you have the trust and your beneficiaries is spelled out? All your
Look
assets
up-
are going to your beneficiaries?
Look up IRS 1041 instructions for 2022, right? And go down to the bottom right-hand corner on that page, and it'll tell you about a will and a revocable living trust. As a matter of fact, I'll do one better for you. Somewhere over the rainbow. How come I could never find this? Let's see if it's in here. Oh, it's not in there. Hold on, I know it's another one. Okay. Where is it? Yeah, I gotta excuse me. I'm in so many groups. Okay. Look at that. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Read it out for me.
Says a revocable living trust is an agreement created by a written agreement or declaration during the life of an individual and can be changed or ended at any time during the individual life. A revocable living trust is generally created to manage and distribute property. Many people use this type of trust instead of or in addition to a will.
So what is the IRS saying?
They saying it's a will.
That it can
Or
be used in lieu of a will.
And it's better than a will, because
Use
the
it-
will still gotta go through probate, and this doesn't.
there you go. Let it sink in. There we go.
But the
Now
only
we talking.
issue is if your stuff, you do have to still transfer stuff into your trust. Because if you die, say for example, with your car, your house not in this trust, they're still going to go through probate because I think you passed with it in your name and not in a trust name, so it wouldn't be considered part of the trust res.
Right. No doubt.
And just to be clear, the way you fund a trust is by moving assets into it. If you don't move assets into it, there's nothing to be distributed. So whether it's accounts, cars, homes, that's how you fund the account, your trust, by actually moving assets into it, conveying assets.
What else can you put in there?
Your children.
Your birth certificate, account, CUSIP number.
So one trust can hold everything, your mortgage, your CUSIP numbers, your court cases, one trust can do all of it?
Why can't it?
I'm asking.
Especially,
I don't know.
especially if they can't pierce it, right?
I'm asking the question. I don't know.
I said, especially if they can't pierce it, right? If they can't pierce your trust, why wouldn't you hold everything in it? I mean, all that stuff, you got to have this trust be the beneficiary of that trust, and this trust hold that trust, this trust holds that assets. For what? That sounds confusing to me. I'm gonna let that sink in.
I would think, Vince, that would be dependent upon certain assets that you're moving into it, and assuming that everything one is doing is in compliance and harmony with the IRS and, you know, how we're operating this trust. Because at the end of the day, you know, trusts have been pierced. And
As far as
meaning that in court matters, where either the trust is not cognized or it is there's a term that they use for it, and I don't know if pierced is it, but they'll definitely go into that trust and they'll seize assets.
okay. So if somebody say that you owe something and they're trying to go into your trust, what do you do?
Well, that would be a breach of trust, and I would imagine as the creditors, we have every ability to settle any debt, and that's the big question, or do a 1099.
And how do you, and there you go.
Yeah, okay.
How do you settle it? Would it be
1099.
anything come after your trust, you settle it?
Got it. And I think that that's what I'm missing, and maybe just to reiterate, because this is now the third time he's said it, I think to me, is that any
You
debt,
okay?
any debt that exists, we settle the matter by issuing that 1099-B and triggering the IRS to go do an audit. Because anybody who's coming after us for money is doing that in an administrative mode, and once they have notice of trust, they can't breach the trust. And we just simply file that 1099-B to settle any debt that they're alleging is owed.
There you go. Don't
Yeah.
you just love it when you answer your own questions?
I do.
Yeah, I needed that too, Frank.
So basically, when somebody's trying to raise your estate, they send it in the form of a bill, don't they?
Right.
So you counterclaim that with a B. You've been paid. Be gone.
And have you ever heard of anybody using this for property taxes, Vince?
They claim you owe a bill, don't they?
Yes.
Enough said.
Huh.
They claim you owe a bill, right?
Yeah. And then I'm assuming then we can go back and do 1099-Bs for the last 3 years on property taxes as well.
I see why not.
Yep. Got it.
Because
My
they've
mom had-
already been paid, and now
Exactly. There you go. Come on.
we just been
Come on.
ignorant.
See?
So your
Don't you
main,
love it?
your main 1099 is the 1099-B then. You don't need to do no NECs or miscellaneous and none of that, huh?
The barter. We only worried about the barter. That's all we worried about. The agreement between you and somebody else. Every time they send you a bill, they send you notice that, hey, we about to take this out your estate. You know what I mean?
Right.
We on fire. I got me making coffee. You know what I'm saying?
So Vince, can I can't recall if we did. Can we revisit if we've already done it? And excuse me if we have, but how do we know that the trust can't be pierced?
Weiss Concise, that master beneficiary record that's in the group. They're giving you instructions on how to play the game.
What are the instructions?
Because if you think about it, the state is one big revocable trust.
Mm-hmm. That's just like my mom. She had she was working. She collected unemployment, right? Because she worked for the school. They came back and said she had an overpayment of $3,500. I was like, I got you, Mom. Did a 1099-B against the Department of Revenue. You see where I'm going with this, right? A month later, it disappeared. You owe zero. Make sense?
It's starting to.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I can't be on here much longer. We're going to have to reconvene. But we're going to watch the videos and we're going to learn a little something. Yawana, where you at? Oh, is she here?
I think she was so tired she fell asleep.
Oh, she probably did. Well, when she gets up, watch the videos. Y'all can go to Telegram and watch them together, like through a video chat or something like that. Or y'all can just watch them through the Zoom with Luana and let me know, and then we'll reconvene at a later time to go over them. Is that good for everybody?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. And can I ask a follow-up question on something you just said?
All right, so it was just
Yeah.
2 videos you put, right? You just put the 2 videos in there.
One thing at a time, one step at a
Okay.
time.
Okay. Sounds good. Go
Okay.
ahead, Robert. I'm sorry.
Sure. Okay. And so you just indicated that you did something for your mother. So that was one of my questions. Can we do the B's for other people? And if
Yeah, you as long as you got their social and they're all capped. Yeah.
You have to make them a beneficiary first?
right,
No.
that was my other question. Do they have to be associated with your trust?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And they
cool.
don't have to have their own trust in place?
Well, they said that she owed. They wanted to get paid, right? So we paid them.
Okay, got it.
The trust is just used for recouping those credits back. But my mom don't have a trust. She old school. She ain't into all that.
So basically, she was just, they zeroed out and said she didn't know anything. She didn't get anything back, but they definitely cleared out the claim that she owes.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Right. Cool.
So,
All right.
so where you could help a family member or a friend, if we have their social, is with a debt collection on a credit card or something like that.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
All right.
Got it. Thank you. And thank
Ooh,
you.
y'all getting
Jill.
powerful today. Y'all getting powerful. Let's get
So,
it.
Just
so
one.
Vince,
Help out the
Vince,
fam.
so Vince, the 1099B is much better than A and C when doing like credit cards. That's what I'm understanding.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mm.
I'm gonna lay something on y'all real quick. This is for the ones who's a little bit farther. So I had a guy come up to me, we talking, and no, she talking. She's like, Vince, I'm gonna send you this 1099A I did. And I'm like, well, what is this for? She was like, I'm trying to get this $6.5 million house. She said, I know you don't do A's and everything, but I just want you to think on this and tell me what you did. So she showed me the 1099A. It had the Treasury pen, all caps, and she put beneficiary beside her name. And I was like, so you're telling the Treasury that you want this house. She put the lot number and everything in the description box. I was like, very interesting. She said, now I know I'm not finishing the process, but what else would you do for this A? And I got there, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, so you acquired the property. You're telling the Treasury to pay the social. I said, oh, then have the social as a beneficiary pay the trust. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. With the 1099B.
Wow.
You feeling where I'm going with that?
That's
Yeah.
nice. That's
Yeah, I'm
nice.
feeling
Yeah,
that.
that's
and,
nice.
And I was sitting up here and I was like, oh my fucking, excuse me for cussing y'all. I was like, oh my damn goodness. That makes all the sense in the world.
Mm.
And then we got to talking more and I was like, well, if we do the 1041 and then you're trying to get that much, they might deny it because they're not getting their cut. So instead of doing federal withheld, just put proceeds for the 6.5 million. That way they'll take their cut and they'll send you the rest.
Mm.
So she's right now she's doing that. We'll see if it works or not.
Keep us posted.
Because that was deep because it made so much sense in the world. And let me drop another gem on y'all. This has been a good weekend for me, okay?
Awesome.
Let me drop another gem on you. My man calls me and says he went bankruptcy, right? And to stop the foreclosure. That's what bankruptcies do. He put his, where on the liability side, you listening to me, citizen?
Yep.
Okay. On the liability side, he put his birth certificate and the CUSIP number into the liability side. He said he looking, he was wondering why the DOJ was there. You see where I'm going with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The DOJ was there because he's the trustee. He said it didn't make sense to him. And the judge asked him 2 questions. He said, do you want to dismiss with prejudice or do you want to liquidate? He said, because he really didn't know nothing at the time, he was
Yes,
supposed to liquidate his
Ooh,
assets.
ooh, he would have got paid out from that BC.
Is it making sense? Is it making sense?
Hey, Vince, I know the brother you're talking about.
Yeah, Anthony.
Yep.
You see
He's
what I'm
my
saying?
he's my
Anthony.
man. He's my
And I'm
man.
sitting up here, I'm like, oh my fucking goodness.
So I'm confused. So you said the DOJ came into the bankruptcy as a trustee because, so he put the birth certificate on the liability side
With the
and
CUSIP number.
with the CUSIP number, and then after that, the DOJ chimed in as filed in as a trustee or a creditor.
They're the trustee,
They're
making
the-
sure they do right.
So for those of us that don't understand, would you please just explain what happened after that?
Okay, instead of him saying liquidate the assets, which would have gave him all those credits back, he dismissed it with prejudice. Because he
So
was just trying to
now
save
he
his
can't
house.
go
He didn't.
back.
No, he can go back. They dismissed it with prejudice. He
Yeah,
can go
he can-
back.
Mhm.
So
But
what
if he
happened with
would've
his
been thinking-
house? What happened with the house?
He's still there. He's still there.
Okay,
now
that's-
he-
but did they settle the debt?
I have no clue on what they did, but he reopened another bankruptcy case to go back in.
And what chapter?
Ooh.
What chapter did he file?
What was it? Was it a 7? I think it's a 7.
No, it was 13.
13. There
A
you go.
voluntary 13.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and interesting. But here again, like I have the CUSIP number for my birth certificate, but it just shows the mutual fund that it's in. It's the major.
But
Nothing.
why you keep worrying about that? It's not for you to go in and get.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to find that. Let them do that.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
They-
you want
they
them
have-
to get your beneficial interest.
You don't have to
Fran,
worry about the minor, major. Let them do it.
Fran, they have access to more accounts that are super secure. You know how much security clearance those people have that have access to those things.
Yeah.
And
So don't even think about it. So just leave it for them.
another interesting conversation I had over the weekend. My girl Reese called me and said she was just talking to a banker. And she was trying to securitize her birth certificate. The banker told her that we don't see the value of your birth certificate. Once we see the value of your birth certificate, we can then secure your loan. What she need to do?
Go get the CUSIP.
There you go. There you go. You see where I'm going with this? Everything
Mhm.
goes back to the 1099Bs and the CUSIPs.
Okay, I missed that one, Vince. Can you summarize what you just meant?
Okay, Reese had called me. She was trying to get a loan. She's talking to the banker about, a matter of fact, Navy Federal. And she tried to use her birth certificate to secure the loan. But the banker told her she don't see a value on it, so there's nothing that they can do. And I said, so what should she do?
CUSIP,
Order the CUSIP number on it. That way you have the value.
because that's an asset.
So, we're gonna be going through a lot of stuff in here because everybody come to me with these different processes, and then we go through them and then we make sense out of them,
In the trust, you have a spot right before the witnesses where you're signing in the trust, and it says seal. Is this a seal that your own personal seal?
No, you can erase that. I think I gave y'all the wrong one. Hold up. I gotta get mine sanitized. Does it?
It's
The
like
one
your,
I put in the
your
chat.
signature is your seal anyway.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You can leave it
Let me
on
see
there.
what
It's just there.
Okay.
But I have a seal, so I can put my own seal on it.
Ooh, go ahead with your bad self. All right. All right. You got it.
Okay. But it's not necessary. That's what we're saying.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
So let's
He
get
put
this
some
all
examples
together.
in the chat of how he signed it. If you saw it, I don't know if you saw it or not.
How come my thing is doing this?
Yeah, usually the seal is, it could be your seal if it's by your name or whatever, or it can be the notary seal.
Yes, indeed. So, well, look, everybody, it's almost 9:30. I'm going to drink me some coffee, and I think I'm gonna go to the gym.
Thank
But
you so much. This has been great.
I need y'all to watch those videos, and then once I get them other videos, I'll post them in the chat. When Yawana wakes up, hit her up in the back channel. Y'all can watch them together, and then hit me up, and then we'll secure another day to come back
Okay.
in and go over it.
Thanks, Vince. Vince.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank
So
Can
how
you
y'all
put
like me so far?
everyone.
How you like me so far? How you like me?
Fire, man,
We're
fire.
feeling you. We're feeling you.
Yeah,
Yeah, what you
yeah,
got, so-
definitely. Can you put West number in there too for what those of us who want to try to get some QSIP numbers?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, he's kind of busy right now. I'm trying to reach him as we're talking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. If y'all want, y'all could send that information to me, and I'll send it to him. Me and Wes just had lunch last week.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, and
but I'll
can
put
you
his
please,
number in there.
what I need from him is, if you can just text me privately, I just need his Cash App. So this way I could get this going.
I have his form. I'll post it. It's got everything.
Yeah, I
You
have the form, but the form doesn't give you his PayPal, and it doesn't give you,
only got Zelle on it.
yeah, it just
Hold on, let me-
says money order or direct deposit into Chase, but it doesn't give me anything
I
else.
think it's QSIP 1. Is his
Well,
Cash App?
Yes.
I'll just put his number in the chat. Can
Oh,
y'all put
it's
his number in the
Geeta,
chat?
you know his Cash App number? You know
I
his
don't have his Cash App. He's got Zelle and money order. I'll put in what I have. I'll find it and put it in the Telegram chat.
Okay, I just
hold on.
need, I prefer cash. He said
His number is
Mhm.
614. Y'all can put it in the chat too. 328-6339.
Mhm.
614-328-6339. So I'll send him a text and let him know that I sent you. That way he'll get on you kind of fast.
Okay, he
Thank
just
you.
answered me. All right, I got his info. He just answered me. All right, I'm gonna put his phone number in the chat. 614-32.
It's already there, Jeanette. I just
Okay,
put
328. All right, 6339. All right,
All right.
cool.
Make sure you let him know that that you're with me. That way he'll
Mhm.
know you know what you're doing.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and your nuggets. And we're gonna look forward to watching your videos and
Yeah.
and getting the process done.
Mm-hmm.
Remedy.
Moving on to the next step for sure.
All right. Sound like a plan, y'all.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thank you, Vince. Thank you all. Enjoy what's left of the evening.
All
Thanks,
right now.
everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Vince.
Okay now.
Okay,
Peace and love,
Yawana has
everybody.
everybody's email or whatever. Or I guess she'll drop it in Telegram or whatever. And or you know what? I'll drop it in the Telegram for I don't know, whatever she wants to do. I'll send it to her and see what she wants to do. But Vince, I'll be calling you. I got in touch with Wes, so I'm moving, and I'll be talking to you.
Okay, good.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Good
All
night.
right. Peace and love, everybody.
All right,
Peace.
peace, everybody.